In vivo and in vitro. What is this? If you remember, we discussed these two terms long before when we were discussing the first chapter. In vivo and in vitro. What are these two terms? Yes, beta?
In vivo means work that is done inside an organism, and in vitro means outside.
Outside, fine. Yes, in vivo is the chemical reactions which takes place inside the body of a living organism. In vitro means when the chemical reactions takes place outside the body, that means in the laboratory conditions. So in vivo within the living body, this is within the living body, living system. And in vitro means in the laboratory conditions. In the laboratory conditions, these are the two terms which we discussed when we were doing the first chapter. So this was just a general thing which I wanted to discuss with you all. Now we come to another. Here, what we were doing. So two types of tests, analytical test and ASH analysis, they tell you about the biomolecules. So now what is done in this case? Yes. So we take a piece of, uh, I'll tell you first about this test. We take a piece of vegetable. If we want to detect the presence of biomolecules in and plant tissues, or we can take a piece of animal tissue, any animal tissue. And in this case, the animal tissue can be liver, a piece of liver it can be a piece of kidney, it can be a piece of any other or stomach, intestine. So any living tissue we take. So if we want to study the plant tissue, vegetables, if you want to study the animal tissue, we can take any piece of the body. Okay, so that is taken and that is mixed with trichloroacetic acid. This is mixed with trichloroacetic acid. This is mixed with trichloroacetic acid. When after mixing it, the board is not fully visible. Is it okay, Tadar? Okay. Yeah. So a piece of animal tissue or a piece of plant tissue is taken. It is mixed with trichloroacetic acid. This is trichloro. This is mixed with trichloroacetic acid. And after mixing, it is, grinding is done. Grinding. And when it is ground with trichloroacetic acid, what we get is a thick slurry. What we get is a thick slurry. This thick slurry is taken in a test, is filtered in a funnel. This is a funnel which is taken. And in the funnel, we put any filter paper, say Wattmann's filter paper or cotton. Anything is kept over here, Wattmann's filter paper, okay, or any, this is kept. And then what we do is we put this funnel in a container, in a beaker. So this is taken like this, and the thick slurry is allowed to filter here. This is allowed to filter. When it is filtered, we get something here as a filtrate. This is filtrate, and few thing is left over here. This is in common language, this is known as a residue. In common language, this is known as residue. And this is in common language known as filtrate. So one is known as residue, another is known as filtrate. Now, this which comes down in the form of liquid, this is something which is soluble in this acid. So we call it acid soluble pool. The filtrate is acid soluble pool. Whereas the one which we get up there, it is acid insoluble pool. What we get here is acid insoluble pool. So whatever the tissue is, it gets differentiated into two types, acid soluble and acid insoluble. Of course, the something which gets soluble, these will be smaller in size, and these can be amino acids. Okay. These can be the micromolecules, these can be amino acids, these can be, say, nucleotides, etc. Just a minute, beta. Give me 1 sec. So this acid soluble pool, it contains the organic compounds. Organic compounds. Most of the organic compounds, these are which are soluble in water, they can be found in the acid soluble pools. And most of the inorganic ones are found. And this is how we separate the inorganic and the organic compounds of the various type of biomolecules. Okay. Now there is one thing that thing is, lipid micromolecule, and in other terms, if you say the micromolecules are found over here, micromolecules, and macromolecules, they are left over here. Macrobiomolecules, microbiomolecules. Okay. This is also one type of differentiation. Whatever we found in acid soluble pool, these are mostly the microbiomolecules, and what we find on the as a residue is basically macrobiomolecules. And most of the organic compounds, they are soluble in acid, so they come down, whereas the ones which are insoluble, they remain up there because they do not dissolve, so they remain here. The ones which dissolve in acid, they come down, okay, and get filtered. So this is what we get as a result of this analysis, which is analytical test. Now we come to another test, which is ash analysis. What is done in ash analysis? Again, we take a living tissue. I'll just erase this first, and then I'll tell you the ash analysis. In ash analysis, again, what do we take? We take a living tissue. Living tissue is taken. It can be a plant tissue or an animal tissue. It is taken. This is first dehydrated. This is first dehydrated. Hydration always means water. Hydration means water. D means removal. Removing water is dehydration. This is first dehydration, and as a result of dehydration, what we obtain is a dry tissue. As a result of dehydration, we obtain a dry tissue. This dry tissue which is obtained, now this is burnt. This is burnt. When this dry tissue is burnt, what happens? Carbon and its compound, when it is burnt as a result of burning, carbon and its compounds escape in the form of gases. carbon and its compound escape in the form of gases. Now, what is left after burning? Some substances, the gases are formed and they leave, they escape. What is left now is ash. This ash, it consists of the organic compound. It consists of and these can be not organic, have already left inorganic compounds. They did consist of, because carbon and its compounds are organic, they have already left. Now, what is ash? Ash will have all the inorganic compounds, which can be mineral ions, calcium carbonate, etc. So it will have all the inorganic compounds which are left. Organic compounds which are in the form of carbon and its compounds, they escape in the form of gases. So what we do in ash analysis, the living tissue is taken. That living tissue is first dehydrated. That means from that tissue, the water is removed, and what we obtain is a dry tissue in which there is no water. This dry tissue is burnt. When this dry tissue is burnt, carbon and its compounds, which are organic compounds, they escape in the form of gases. What is left is ash. This ash consists of inorganic compounds, which are mineral ions, which are calcium in the form of calcium carbonate, etc. And this is what the ash analysis is done to find out what inorganic compounds are present. That analysis of this ash can be done, that this particular inorganic substance is there in the ash, or this particular inorganic substance is there in the ash, and we can tell that fine, this is the inorganic substance which was present in the ash. And the ones which escape, see, if the previous test, which was analytical test, in that what we get in the acid soluble pool, mostly it consists of organic compounds. And what is left on the funnel, which is acid insoluble compounds, acid insoluble pool, it has mostly inorganic substance. So this way we can differentiate, and then further tests can be done to find out which particular inorganic substance or organic substance is found in the liquid, in the filtrate, or in the residue. Here we can just go for the test of the ash to find out the inorganic compounds which are present in the ash. Because the organic compounds, they have already escaped. They have escaped in the form of gases. So any question, any query in the two types of analysis? Yes, beta. Any query on the base on these two types of analysis? Yes, bache, which I have just told. The two type of analysis. Okay. Fine. So I'm getting the response that it's clear. Now, biomolecules, I'll tell you the biomolecules on the basis of size. On the basis of size, we have two types of biomolecules. They can be microbiomolecules or macrobiomolecules. So, on the basis of size, we have two types of biomolecules. Number one is microbiomolecules and macrobiomolecules. So as the name indicates, that macro always means a larger size, micro always means a smaller size. So Here, if we see the microbiomolecules, the first difference which I'll tell about both of these are that these microbiomolecules, they have a simple chemical structure. So their chemical, they have the first point of difference, they have simple chemical structure. Whereas if we see macrobiomolecule, they have a complex chemical structure. So one has a simple chemical structure, another has a complex chemical structure. Now, second point of difference is regarding their molecular weight. So their molecular weight is always low. So they have a lower molecular weight. Lower molecular weight. They have a higher molecular weight. So this is the second point of difference. The third point of difference is their, soluble, whether they are soluble, whether they dissolve in the organic acids or not. So the third point is they are soluble in the organic acid, which we discussed was Cl3CCOOH, which is trichloroacetic